Many species of insects have evolved to depend on certain native plants for their survival. By planting native plants, you're opening up the opportunity for bugs you may have never seen before to move in and find a suitable habitat. Here are just a few of the Northeast US native insects that you can unlock by planting their host plants in your garden, starting with some more common species and moving towards more rare and threatened species towards the end of the video. This iridescent beetle, shining in almost every color of the rainbow, feeds on a common native plant that many people think of as a weed. The dogbane beetle is widespread throughout the United States and feeds on 3 varieties of dogbane, which are close relatives of milkweed. The plant's sticky sap contains toxins which accumulate in the beetle's body, offering them protection from predators. The larvae feed on the roots of the dogbane plant, and the adults emerge in summer to feed on the leaves, where they are easily spotted. Spicebush and sassafras, 2 of the best-smelling leaves in North America's eastern woodlands. If you needed any more reason to love these 2 plants, check out the spicebush swallowtail. This is a relatively common species of butterfly throughout the eastern United States, whose caterpillars feed on the fragrant leaves of spicebush and sassafras. They are also capable of feeding on some other plants in the Lauraceae family, such as prickly ash. The caterpillars can appear green, yellow, or brown in color. They are marked by 2 large black spots with white highlights on the thorax, resembling big shiny eyes. The caterpillar's defensive mimicry is also assisted by a Y-shaped organ called the osmeterium, which they can expose when threatened, mimicking the forked tongue of a snake. The adult spicebush swallowtail is black or dark brown with a soft blue splotch, and on the underside of the hindwing it has 2 rows of bright orange spots shaded by blue. The adult spicebush swallowtail butterfly feeds on Joe pieweed, milkweeds, thistles, jewelweed, and sweet pepperbush. This iridescent dark blue beetle with a bright yellow stripe is the elderberry borer. It's a member of the family known as flower longhorn beetles. The adult beetles feed on elderberry leaves and pollen. They lay their eggs near the base of the elderberry plant, and when the larvae hatch, they bore into and feed on the plant's roots, from which they absorb toxic cyanogenic glycosides. The elderberry borer is found throughout most of eastern North America, matching the range of its host plant, the native elderberry. The honey locust moth is a fuzzy, medium-sized moth with a grayish-tan color, punctuated by vibrant pink hindwings. Its larva is a green caterpillar with horns that feeds almost exclusively on honey locust and Kentucky coffee tree leaves. The honey locust moth ranges through a large section of eastern North America, most common in the Ohio River Valley, where its 2 host plants are abundant. The honey locust tree and Kentucky coffee tree are both notable for their evolutionary adaptations that were shaped by North America's now extinct megafauna. For example, both trees produce seeds with extremely tough, impermeable seed coats that may have adapted to germinate after passing through the digestive tract of a giant sloth. Since the extinction of these megafauna, the distribution of Kentucky coffee trees and honey locusts, and therefore honey locust moth habitat, has largely been driven by humans. The Baltimore checker spot, the state insect of Maryland, is an intricately patterned black, white, and orange butterfly, actually classified as threatened in the state of Maryland, where it has faced significant habitat loss. The Baltimore checker spot relies on its native host plant, the white turtlehead. Its larvae are also able to feed on other plants, but with limited success. The larvae overwinter in leaf litter on the ground, which is another area of vulnerability. This species ranges broadly around the Ohio River Valley and Appalachian Mountains, the Great Lakes, and New England, and its ideal habitat is a wet meadow featuring the white turtlehead plant and undisturbed leaf litter, in case that gives you any design ideas for a wet area that you don't want to mow. There are 129 different species of longhorned bees in the genus Melisodes, all of them native to the Americas. Many of them are specialists, and a number of them, such as Drury's longhorned bee, specialize in collecting pollen from asters and goldenrod. These relatively common late summer to fall blooming flowers carry incredible importance to native pollinator populations. Some of the flowers most commonly relied upon by pollen specialist bees in eastern North America include solidago, also known as goldenrod, helianthus, or wild sunflowers, symphyotricum, or asters, and rudbeckia, aka coneflowers or black-eyed Susans. The dusted skipper is a small brown butterfly found in dry prairie, pine barrens, and open sandy areas where its caterpillars feed on big bluestem and little bluestem. The caterpillars hibernate and pupate at the base of the plant a few inches off the ground. Big bluestem and little bluestem are both perennial bunch grasses that are known for their ornamental value as well as for providing significant ecological value for native insects. The dusted skipper is vulnerable or imperiled in most of its range, which extends from the Rocky Mountains to the East Coast, and is classified as critically imperiled in New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware, West Virginia, Ohio, Maine, and Vermont. The alum-root cellophane bee is a rare, solitary, ground-nesting bee facing significant threat due to habitat loss. It relies almost exclusively on American alum root for pollen. The conservation status of the alum-root cellophane bee is poorly documented. So far, it has only been assigned a conservation status rank in Illinois, where it is considered imperiled. The insect's host plant, American alum root, is commonly thought of as an attractive garden plant. However, gardeners who wish to support the alum-root cellophane bee and other native insects should be aware that commercial cultivars of native plants can have traits that make them less useful to the insects that evolved to depend on the wild form of the plant. Observations from the USGS Native Bee Inventory and Monitoring Lab suggest that the alum-root cellophane bee does not make use of hybrid alum roots commonly used in landscaping, but only feeds on the wild-type American alum root. This small, soft blue beauty is the endangered Carner blue butterfly. It is found in small areas around the Great Lakes, Ohio, New York, and southern New Hampshire. The species was once found in Ontario, Maine, Massachusetts, Illinois, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, but is believed to have been extirpated from all these areas. The larvae of this species, a small, nondescript green caterpillar, feeds exclusively on wild blue lupine, that is, Lupinus perennis. Wild blue lupines are found in sandy pine barrens and oak savannas. Fire or other disturbance is needed to maintain the sunny open patches where the lupine grows. Fire suppression was a major factor in the species' decline and classification as endangered in 1992. The adult Carner blue butterfly likes to feed on native flowers, including butterfly weed, New Jersey tea, and wild strawberry. I hope you enjoyed learning about these specialized native insects, and this is just a small selection. In reality, the majority of plant-feeding insects are specialized to some degree to feed on specific plants. This means if you want to support native insects, one of the best things you can do is grow native plants. Remember to subscribe for more Northeast native gardening info, and thank you for watching.